Hey everybody, I've got a little bit of a sunburn, but let's tackle the weekend vid. So the first thing we always do is take a look at the indexes, and we're going to see SPY inside day. We do have a gap up in the overnight session with some China news. This is your daily broadening formation, so we'll be gapping into the recent highs if that gap holds. So if we go to the US 500, you'll see this. Inside day up, what does that do? Confirms a monthly hammer. Where's that going? It's trying to go back to all-time highs, so we'll be watching for that. This week, it's going to be corrective week last week, so people were short last week, opening higher. So anyone short last week, they've got full time frame continuity to the face. We do have a weekly pivot target, 5786 on the futures coming in. And then SPY, we'll have a weekly pivot target here as well. So we'll mind that just as some short-term exhaustion risk, but we prefer things to keep going given we have monthly hammers that should open in force. If we go to the Dow Jones, still inside month, it will be gapping up as well. You will see, did go inside day, I believe. Yeah, so an inside day with equal lows. Therefore, you're probably going to be seeing that inside bar up to start the week too. So simultaneous break with SPY. If we get to the Qs, you're going to see the inside day in the tech. You're going to see your broadening formation up in here. Obviously chopping them up a bit, right? Back and forth. But if we can get out of this, these short sellers might have a problem. We'll see the monthly hammer in the Qs. It's been stronger than the SPY. So tech, where are you going? Trying to go back up there, like so. So we'll be watching for that with the daily broadening formation expansion. Let's get that on the charts. IBM. It's going to look similar to the rest. You could argue is a little bit stronger than the rest. Here's your daily broadening formation. If we go to the month, since it hasn't taken last month's high, we'll still consider it weaker. But this is what your monthly broadening formation looks like with the change in continuity. So right now we're right in the middle of it. We need to become a 2, and then we'll see what we can get. That being said, we want to look at things with daily signals or weekly signals into monthly signals. We also want to look for things that went up really aggressively to start the month to keep going. So what do those look like? Well, let's take a look. So the first thing I like to do is take a look at monthly signals. We are going to be adding monthly signals to our new strat scanner, literally Monday or Tuesday, as well as quarterly and yearly. So we'll be able to show you guys that stuff and how we can use it, in the nightly vids this coming week. And if you are in the beta group, it's already closed out, so you can't join if you're not. But if you are in there, we have picked the first 300 people to get access to the scanner. So that being said, you should get access on Monday, if not Tuesday, but I'm 99% sure on Monday if you're waiting for that. That being said, let's get back to the charts. So the first thing is, the top leaders are going to be a lot of small cappers here. HIMS is going to be one of them from last week. So we actually talked about this. I don't know if it's on a monthly or weekend video, but we talked about this. The inside week pivot machine gun of all these guys, which did take off prior to the earnings and then confirms with the earnings. So you're going to have this, the 222 going into next week above that, 5226. So you'll want to know about HIMS. And before we keep going, let me get my list up here. All right. We'll then see CDE, which is going to be a little bit of a smaller name here, but you can see it is going. So 2 month RevStrat 3122, and they're gunning. So for the small cap traders, we'll have BTDR 2 month up, pivot machine gun, and it's just gunning. So no signals. If we go to Lyft, had some earnings. You'll see 2 month to the upside, back through previous range. If you go to the year, maybe it becomes a 2 up year, and they come back from the dead above 1456, the big reclaim level here. So you have that. If we go to TTD, you'll see the 2 month off the bottom of the range. It did gap up and go shooter though. So this could be on your gapper universe, and I'll make sure that is on there. If we go to Oscar, 2 month up, maybe a 222 day, small cappers. It's going to be a lot of small caps at the top of this list. ACAD, 2 month back up, and you'll see just gunning. So definitely aggressive buyer in there. See if they follow through. If we go to Serve, another small capper, you can see the 2 month up and probably comes back in. We'll see. RGTI, this is interesting. So in the quantum computing, You're going to see the 2-2 week up, inside week momentum hammer in RGTI. And no daily signals to trigger that. You'll have 4-day inside bar as well with that. We go to, there's another quantum stock. Give me a sec here. It's QBTS. So you'll see QBTS already an inside month up, and they are gunning on earnings. So, they'll be together in there. If we go to Disney, it's going to be the 2-2 month up, coming off the bottom of the broadening formation down in here, with magnitude up into these guys. No weekly signals. Maybe the inside day. I can't quite tell. Yep, inside day Disney. If we go to, we got a lot of nobodies on this list, so I'm just going to keep going down. OKLO. Oklo, you'll see the 2-2 month back up after triangle out, so they buy it, stop these guys out, and they're buying it again. You're going to have this, the 3 on the day. You could say it's a 3-day inside bar as well. We go to Riot and Mara with Bitcoin firming up. You see coming off the bottom of the broadening formations. So for the smaller stock traders, these are pretty liquid. Above that, 810 all month. You got Riot. Mara did have a big candle last week. Same thing though. You'll see this 2-2 month here. Pivot machine gun of these guys to wipe them out early. So you got it above this. 1471. Looking for around 2118 first, and then we'll see. I'll tell you things like MicroStrategy. You'll see the inside quarter up. And Coinbase. And you're going to see this on Coinbase. It's a pretty chart with Hood and MSTR going. So Coinbase, not at all-time highs. It will be. Eventually up in here, right? We go to the week. It is a 3 on the week, 3 on the day. So we'll see if this broadening formation, they might take it down one more time. But here it is. If we go to the month, would be 2-2 above that if they want to get all the coiners going. And we already know about... Bitcoin on the month, 3-2 from the monthly video. And just so we know that for sure, you can see in here, if we go down here, coiners, coin, Bitcoin, XRP, MicroStrategy closer to the quarter. We also put Mara, Riot on there. And we'll see XRP this month. Did rev start the month as well, so we're still going to be watching that. But let's keep her going. If we go to CCJ, the uraniums. This is one thing we're picking up on to start the month, early in the month here. 2-2 month uranium pivot machine gun. URA uranium 2-2 month pivot machine gun as well. So these are high watches for me because you're going to have this, the 2-2-2 day URA. That's momentum setup, 2-2-2 continuation. CCJ, 2-2-2 continuation above that. So to start off the new week next week, CCJ, URA, 2 up, 2 down, 2 up. If we keep going, you're also gonna have Oklo, which is a part of those guys just moving similarly. They're a part of the what's it called? Uranium space. One of the bigger players. Not sure what CPNG is. I'm not going to touch it though. I think it's China. If we keep going, Chewy. So Chewy is an interesting one because we're coming off all-time lows and people love their pets more than they love themselves. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that one all the way back up in here in the future. They're a pretty good company just from what I've heard. That being said, they also have a 2-2 month this month, which makes it pretty good for us too on the charts. And Rev 2-2 year Chewy through these guys. So, it could turn into 54%er this year. So we got the year and the month signals. Puts it as high watch for us. If we go to Tesla, we're going to see Tesla 2-2 month to start. And you'll see broadening information in here. So they may bring it back in. But we'll see what they got for us. If they're going to continue or confirm or negate. If we go to Hood, Hood is the 2-2 month with the coiners, 2 going 3/4. And again, all-time highs up there. So we're still long hood, looking for that to keep going. We will see all of the, cruise lines, airlines as well, looking pretty good. So you're going to see RCL, the 2-2 month, going back through the range. No weekly setup, inside day. If we go to CCL, you're going to see inside day. If we go to the month, same thing. NCLH, still an inside month, inside day. If we go to American Airlines, Doji on the day, but you'll see the 2-2 month off the bottom of the broadening formation. Go to Delta, see the 2-2 month off the bottom of the broadening formation, still 2 up. United, see the inside day, also 2-2 month, not off the bottom. They're actually a little stronger in United, but those are all going to be similar, the same flavor of sector there. If we go to DE, you'll see DE 2-2 month, they're gunning. And that was on our monthly list. You'll have the inside day momentum DE for the measured move above that, 493.94. That would cause broadening expansion of this daily pivot machine gun from last week. You'll see 2-2 PMG, boom, sends up flying. Tells you cat, inside day as well to trigger monthly PMG. Oh yeah. So we're going to put a star next to that one. We'll have a star next to Chewy. Star next to Oklo as well as the uraniums. And we have big positioning in Hood, so we don't need a star. Keep going. We go to, keep my Gapper universe up to date. I'll get DK and G on there. Let's see. So now we're getting into some of the lesser gainers. AVGO, you'll see the monthly with the inside day, so that's going to be gapping up tomorrow. Bank of America, the inside day with Morgan Stanley inside, Goldman Sachs inside, JP Morgan inside. So you can see it. We're going to have a lot of stuff to be watching to start the week there with all these scenario ones, but that covers most of them. We will see Costco, the 312 setup on the daily in cost. And if that goes to the upside, you'll have the month going. Tells you Walmart, which has not been as fortunate as you see closer to the week. Pivot machine gun back down if things are weak next week. All right. That is going to cover most of the gainers. And if you're just skipping to the video here, this is what we've covered so far on monthly signals up with daily signals to set up here. Now, RGTI inside week. We're not gonna have a lot of weekly signals this week, but we will take a look. So we'll go to setups, go to inside to start, and what I like to do is categorize them by volume. So see energies, staples. So XLE has been going sideways 4 weeks inside of here. So this is an inside month, right? Closer to the inside week up. And if that were to work, big levels of reclaim here on the left. So reclaim this, we'll start talking to these guys. All right. We do have a mother bar to worry about here, but we'll keep an eye on it. XOP, see similar. Look at this. Big level of reclaim with the change in monthly continuity. Potentially these guys have a problem if you're short the energies. And you'll see, this is also, you could, not a 4 week inside bar, but you could say these 4 weeks inside of this. So we do have an inside month on a different time frame here. And it's a little stronger. OIH, the 4 week inside bar here as well. So maybe those go, maybe they don't, and we get the reclaim, come back through these guys the other way. But we'll be keeping an eye on those energies because you got some big ranges if they do firm up. We already know the uraniums are going. I know ADEX posted about it, so go and check his list if you want some energy stocks. Normally just look at XOM, Oxy, Fang. Those are the main ones. You could look at VLO, which will be more of your XOP, COP. which is a little bit more of your XOP, but we'll see if they start going next week, and then we'll start talking about it more if they do. That being said, what I want to do is keep the volume greater than 2 million. An ATR greater than 3, just so we can get some movers in here. I'm going to move this to my other screen. I'm excited for when we get the quick scan feature. Ooh, it's going to be so nice. We'll just be able to sit here, do the nightly vid very quickly. Whenever I do it live like this, it takes a little bit. So I'm just going to quickly go through them as I can. CVS, inside day, inside week to trigger 3 month, potentially. At the top of this monthly broad information here. Not sure what ASTS does. And this is the type of stuff I do, and I'm doing my research, so I know what the stocks do and what part of the sector they are. Space Mobile develops constellation cellular broadband. So ASTS would be kind of, I guess it's kind of on its own, but it is telecom. See the higher lows in this broad information, so maybe they're going to make a breakthrough in what they do there, but ASTS will be on the list. And I'll just have to learn that one. Roblox. You're going to see 3 2 month up with magnitude up into here, 75.60. Inside week momentum hammer. No daily signal. Yeah, there's not a lot of very fun setups here. Caesar hotels with MGM hotels, both inside week, so more of your consumer discretionary with like your airlines and stuff. So we see hotels, cruise lines, airlines, which is an interesting theme just on the signal lists. SMMT is an interesting one. It's been highly volatile with double inside weeks now. So could get a big move there if you're interested in trading those high volatility names. Dollar General, that could be a problem there for those guys. Dollar Tree is still pretty firm. Triple M is part of the industrials with DE and CATS. It's going to have the inside week. Also 2 week inside up, which is closed out. Personally, I don't trade it, but you can if you'd like to. NXPI, more chips. Team in the Gapper universe, you're going to have this inside week after earnings. Be closer to the PMG back down for a scenario 3 on the month. Would have the quarterly 2-2 down with them, and the 2 going 3 years. So that could turn into a big problem here. We'll get that on the list. So you don't have many short ideas that we're seeing, which makes sense, right? The market's recovering. NUE is going to look similar as part of the materials. That's really about it. It's kind of lacking signals there on the inside weeks to the downside. Most things closer to going up. And the last thing I want to do is sort by last price, because we're going to have some of the big 7 names in there. Potentially. Yeah, so all of the defense stocks, that's definitely something I don't want to miss here. NOC, RTX, GD. And that's DFEN sector, which tells you Boeing, which is already going. And that is from our macros, so make sure we have that on the monthly signals up. And this one has been going sideways for a while, but if we go 3 on the year, we could get out of all this stuff. So watch out for Boeing. GE is also on there. It's already monthing up. And it'll just be inside day continuation. All right, that's about all I see on the inside week list of interest here. Now let's take a look at hammers. What do we got? So RevStrat hammers for next week. A few miscellaneous materials names. Low volume guys. Nothing that's too crazy to me. If you want to look at those rev strats, here they are. Go look at them yourself. If we go to momentum hammers, CARR is a part of that. You'll see the 2-2 monther after a triangle layout. Momentum hammer on the week for a measured move all the way into all-time highs. And that looks like it's the only one that's really doing anything. EWG, Germany index fund, interesting. So a lot of just index stuff on here, nothing interesting to me. See what we got for shooters. RevStrat shooters, it's a short list. CMCSA. Looks like inside day, maybe a RevStrat back down, which would have full time frame continuity, but be an inside month. Utilities, XEL, that's it. No simultaneous break, ORI, financials, RevStrat shooters, so nothing interesting there. Really, the only interesting ones you'll have are staples, which will be MO Shooter 322, Philip Morris 2-2 week shooter, but these are some pretty strong ones on the year. Philip Morris's, so you could be looking at it. I personally, I'm just gonna prefer the upside, but we'll see. Side of that, I don't know. It's kind of just a short list here. So not going to have as many setups. We'll have a lot more daily signals, like we were saying, with monthly signals that are going up. The last thing I want to do is just look at 3 2-up months with daily signals, and we'll call it a night. Pretty long video tonight. The beauty is, whenever you skip to the end, I normally give you the list, right? Look at CMP. Pretty big 3-2-monther, still an inside year. Run. Interesting. If we go to, let's see, Carvana. 3-2 up month. It's coming back in on the day, though. Nothing. NXC, Energies, inside days. A little bit of a snooze fest in there. PLTR, can't forget about PLTR. All right. I always put stars next to the ones I'm most interested in. And if we have simultaneous breaks, automatically there's interest there. Outside of that, the only one that's interesting is CVS. The rest of them, you don't really have much. You could look at EOSE, whatever, EOSE, whatever that is, as a rep strat, but it's mother bars. So that is about it as far as the summary here. Going into next week, these will be your monthly signals up with confirming signals. OCLO, CCJ are going to be your uraniums. You can see URAs in there. Chewy is year and month up, so we got the simultaneous signals in force there, and it's been a lot higher, so potentially back to all-time highs if that's successful. If we go to Hood, we've just been looking for that to continue as we are long. Defense, already going. Boeing and GE still have ways to go on Boeing with potential simultaneous break LMT, RTX, GD inside weeks. If we look at PLTR on the Gapper universe inside day, it's also a 3-2 up week or 3-2 up month. And then we have inside RCL, CCL, NCLH, your cruise lines with MGM, Caesar, which is your hotels. And we have airlines, which are like your American Airlines, Delta, UAL, that are already going. So we might have consumer discretionary start picking up there. Outside of that, DE, it's going to be monthly up, simultaneous break with the industrials, inside day. CAT, inside day, also monthly PMG, if that triggers the monthly PMG. Then Costco, you have inside day, 2-2 month that's already going. Also more of a consumer staples / discretionary. It's kind of a mix. Weekly signals will include RGTI, which is your quantum computing. CVS, which would be a bearish weekly signal. So I got to move that. ASTS, which is telecommunications, but like space, which is pretty cool. It's going to be inside week. And that is about it. Team and CVS will be on the downside if things were to kick into gear on the downside. We will be starting with the gap up, so just remember that. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next.